What is going on, my beautiful D.D.D fam? It is your boy Brendan, aka Drip from Team D.D.D, back with another video. And in today's video, we have another Cartesia dolls, basically Dogmatika dolls, as you all have grown to know them for. This is just my Cartesia version. This version is mainly for meta or highly represented decks that you're going to see. I don't think that like any of my iterations, to a degree, unless I say they are better than my other ones. So like this one I don't think is any better than the one that runs the branded version. In a way, it potentially may have more consistency in a different form, but I just think right now, with the most represented decks, this is the one that you should play, just because there's several tech cards mainly flowing through the side deck that help you fight those fights more. And it's not Mulch Army, even though that does help. I will give you a budgetary option when we get there if you don't have access to Fawalos. So don't click off the video just because you see Fawalos. It's other than Fawalos, the deck is very budget. If you're not part of the Discord fam and saw that I posted my results this past week from my tournament, I got third place. I played against my matchups were round one, I played against Fiendsmith ryzeal, pushed him to game 3, and I held window too long, and it costed me. Just because I was wanting interaction, and because I forgot that ryzeal was all inherent, so I was waiting on him to commit to the special summon, and I should have shotgunned it because I knew he wasn't on breakers, so he didn't have like droplets or anything like that. So I was like, it was my fault. So I could have won that one. But there was a lot of good interaction, forced to game 3, like I said, and even in game 3, there's a lot of interaction, and it came down to the wire. It's just mainly him being able to recycle his Desiree. It was the reason that he was able to get it, pretty much, and me being me, not shotgunning Schism or El Shaddoll Fusion to make Winda. But I lost that one. Then round 2, I played against ryzeal Kashchira, and I didn't make the same mistake again, and had very interactive games. He went first to game 1, and actually I went first, bricked. He went full combo, killed me. Game 2, I went first, and he just couldn't play through my board. And I had Sack by the Grave, so it helped out a lot. AK Call by the Grave. Then game 3, he went first, and I opened the God Hand going second against that deck, and he had the full board. He had Detonator, Fenrir, Unicorn. No, he had, he had Fenrir, Unicorn, Detonator, and something else. And I just opened all my breakers, and I just ate through the board. I ate through the entire board with like 2 cards before I even committed Engine. So before we show the main deck, we're going to show the side deck so you all understand the extra deck a little bit more. And then round 3, I played against that King Sark stuff, the Dark Magician Yugimoto deck or whatever, and it was my first time ever playing against it, so it was rough on me. And I had to play through Tikaboo and all that, and I had to learn on the fly that they basically like to try to OTK and banish and mainly rely on their King Sark or whatever. So I had to, luckily I outed that, and Super Paulie came in freaking clutch, because he was like ending on like Dragoon, Red Eyes Dark Dragoon with King Sark, Tikaboo, and all that stuff like fairly consistently, which was really obnoxious to play through. But Super Paulie's goated, and then another tech card we added back in the main helped me out the Tikaboo a lot. But we won that one. Then round 4, I played I played shoot, what's it called? Dinomorphia, and we won that one. Super Poly came in clutch, and Talents came in clutch. Mainly Talents. Actually, I didn't even Super Poly him. It was mainly Talents and my other breakers in the side deck. But yeah, we won. We went X1. Could have went undefeated potentially in a way, but it happens, and it was like my first. It was like broke the freaking record for like my losing record. It broke my losing record rather. But with all that aside, please hit the like button if you haven't already. Sorry I talked this much. I just wanted to give you guys the introduction for the people who actually care about the deck and not just here for the list. Please subscribe if you're not already. Bell notification so you never miss an upload, and you get earlier notifications when you're part of the Discord fam. Join the Discord down below. And if you want to chat, whether it's about dolls or whatever you want to chat about, Yu-Gi-Oh related, or even other stuff we can talk about down there. While you're down there, if you don't mind, check the description for all the other ways to support me. My Patreon and my affiliate links are down there as well. They cost zero charge to you. Just help me get a kickback for you shopping on TCG Player, and I appreciate you so much for it. But without further ado, let's go ahead and get into this video, guys. I'm sorry for keeping you waiting this long. To start out, 3 Cartesia. There's nothing needs to be said about this. This is the reason why we play this deck. She's a polymerization on legs. We all know this by now. But I'm gonna still explain stuff just in case you're new and haven't seen my million other iterations of this deck. And since since you've seen some tech cards, and if you've seen the other lists and stuff that I've ran, you would probably know by now that I ended up cutting the Albaz package only to make room. It's not that I don't think it's good. I think it's amazing. It's actually my favorite version of the deck, just the small Albaz package. It's just to open up room for the utility cards that you need for the extra deck and in the side deck. You can't afford to run that Vuln of Albaz and the Quem and all that stuff. So I went back to the roots, the mathematician that I showed you guys way back when, like several months ago when I showed you the very first iteration of this deck. I went back to mathematician. A lot of you probably already knew when you saw me running this. You probably knew I was back on mathematician. If you knew, you knew. Mathematician's pretty nice. It's a foolish. It can send her to get access to her later in the game, or it can send the you can send any Shaddolls to get your Shaddoll engine rolling, and he's just really, really good. You don't need 3 because you don't want to break on too many normal summons because we do play the high spirits to search her. So, yeah. But that's it for the normal summons. Clean 5. Moving on to the Shaddoll package, which is the big meat of our deck. 3. I went back to 3 Squam for now, just for consistency. If I brick on Squamata, then so be it. I'd rather see it, I guess. I don't know. You know me. I go back and forth on it, depending on the tech cards I run. 2 Hedgehog, 1 Windy, 1 Dragon, 1 Beast, 1 Aerial, 1 Falco, and 1 Hound. The big portion of the deck. All these are mandatory. The only one that's really not is the 3rd Squam. I mean, the Hound is not really that mandatory, but it just comes up so much, so much, to where you can resolve Beast turn 1 and dig deep into your deck if you go uninterrupted. It's just very, very nice. And then for the spells, for the Shaddoll spells, I went back to 3L for right now. I know some of y'all are saying you were wanting to drop it down to 2. I get why, but like since every time I increase my doll count over a certain amount, I always find myself indirectly bumping this back to 3. I don't know. It worked out for me yesterday, but if you want to drop it to 2, then go ahead. 3 Shaddoll Fusion. This card is cracked. Nothing needs to be said. In 1 of each trap. I still play this even though it's a garnet and a brick. It just allows you to play past turn 1 very easily. Definitely past turn 2 when you burn through your extra deck. You burn through your dolls very fast, definitely with Schism. Using Schism to break the board because your attributes line up with theirs. So you need to be able to recover, and Resh does that. So I don't think I'm not I hate saying this because sometimes people could take it the wrong way, but I really don't think I really think this is mandatory. I don't think you can play the deck without it, like, and be able to grind, because I feel like from a Shaddoll standpoint, like, our deck plays very well into a lot of decks right now anyways, but I feel like us being a like 2014 deck or whatever, even though we have some modern updated stuff, we're playing from behind anyways. So we have to go the extra mile to break the boards. And since we have to do that, we have to be able to have a way to grind after using a lot of resources to push past the board. And reincarnation or whatever, incarnation helps with that. Moving on to the dogs. One Ecclesia. I hung my Starlights up. I haven't used my ulti. I've never played with my ulti, so I decided to play with my ulti. So I put my Starlight back with the other 2 Starlights in my binder. 1 Maximus, 1 Fleur de Lis, 3, and technically this part of it too. 2. Now, hear me out on this. I don't really like this ratio, but it's necessary, I think, right now. Because hear me out. Since we're not running any other like form of extension, Maximus is mandatory because he helps you get the other names in graveyard from your extra deck that you need, like the Granganol and potentially Lulu or whatever, through an Imperm Ash, whatever. Like, if your Cartesia gets impermed and your Shell Fusion or whatever gets ashed or whatever, you maybe gets ashed. And then this is another additional target for your Granganol if you burn through your Lulu. So, like, because this is also, Maximus is also mandatory if your Cartesia gets stopped and you draw the Ecclesia, so you have no way to summon her to really search him or him. Whatever, her. So, like, it's one of those things where they all come up in their own right, but at worst case, they're light targets. It's one of those things, like I said, I don't like them right now, and I don't like this ratio, because it might be just because I'm so accustomed to the Quem and all that I am coping on that. But right now, I think this ratio is mandatory in this iteration of the deck. Just this iteration. No other version. Because you all know, if you know me, you know I hate Maximus anyways. I hated him since, like, branded format. But yeah, rest of this is mandatory. This is consistency. Your entire deck spellcasters. So that's it for the dogs. And then for the non-engine, the card that helped me destroy Tiketok, pretty much, and any other floodgate that was a problem, was Golden Lord. I'm not running the Albion the Shroud Dragon, so I need ways to get rid of dead spells. And this gives me that, because it counts as a breaker, but it also counts as an extender, and it counts as a light target, and it counts as it helped me get rid of the dead spells. So this card, it was MVP in the form of helping me out Tiketok and go for a game, because I just kept recycling from grave, and then use this to send a dead spell or whatever, like the High Spirits. I use this to send the Tiketok. This will add back during end phase, because a fusion was sent to grave, and then I can summon this back or add this back to hand and do it again. So it was really, really nasty. And then the MV frickin' P of the entire deck. Super Poly. I'm telling you, man, you either have the gold rares or the ultis. They float, bro. They float to the top. This card saved my ass so many times. Yesterday, it was insane. It's just, I don't know. This card, the entire deck is built through this card. Rest of the non-engine. 2 talents. This card's nasty. Self-explanatory. I think if you're playing a breaker deck, or if your deck cannot play 15 hand traps, you are stupid if you don't play talents in any form 1 to 3 in a deck. I just really find it really stupid of you to not. Not saying you're stupid. I'm just thinking your decision making is stupid. But don't get all sensitive and soft in the comment section. I love you. Heart. Call by. This card is one for a reason. Nothing to be said. And then Instant Fusion. This card was an indirectly MVP too. Because in testing, I was playing against Rescue Ace, and yeah, you summon Mud Dragon, you just win. And then in my game with ryzeal Fiendsmith, this card was clutch too because I just summoned Mud Dragon, declare light, and he couldn't use his Desiree in the graveyard effect to send a card or whatever, so he couldn't send my shit. So it was really cool. Really cool. Clean 40, clean 40. I want to show you the side deck now so you understand the extra deck a little more. Starting out, Fualos. If you don't have access to this, run evenly. You run evenly, or you can run what's her name? Shoot. The Kirikara. Run Kirikara or evenly. Preferably evenly because it's just a breaker. But Kirikara is very good into ryzeal. If you have a lot of ryzeal at your locals, and I mean a lot, then run Kirikara. But if you want overall generic, then run evenly. Next is Artifact Lancia. Malice is a deck. Bird Shit is still a rogue deck, aka Flu. And it's a light target, which came in clutch for me last night when I was playing against the King Sark deck. Bestials because they're good right now. I just run 2 Druids, 1 Magnum. These are like less impactful now that we don't run the Albaz package. But it still works because they're bodies that puts himself on board and replace himself, and they're 6s for Chaos Angel, and these outboards, so it helps with stuff, which came up a lot yesterday. And then the entire deck is built around this next card, besides Super Poly, and that is Ultimate Slayer. The entire main deck and extra deck or whatever is built around this card. This card is nasty. This card is gross. It's a Dear Servant for us against a fusion deck. And it's a consistency card against a synchro deck because you just send Lulu and then summon Cartesia during end phase, and then you combo on their turn because this deck is built. The Cartesia iterations of my deck is always built to play on my opponent's turn. And then I added Mind Control back in. There was one time where I drew 2 of these and 2 of these, Instant Fusion and Cartesia or something like that, and I broke the entire board. It was disgusting. It was absolutely disgusting because this is not a once per turn, even though this is. No, it was 2 of these, Golden Lord, and I think it was a Cartesia, yeah, something like that. And then I just broke the entire freaking board with these 2 cards and the Golden Lord because I used the extra version of Slayer to send off Golden Lord. And I think I drew a Talents for turn or something like that or something. I don't know. All I know is I broke the entire board with these 2 cards plus Golden Lord, so 3 cards technically or whatever. But and a lot of people were like, well, with those cards you can do it with anything. I mean, you can break any board. Yeah, maybe. But either way, it was nasty. It was really, really gross. Perfect side deck, I think, for what you're trying to accomplish. If anything, I'm mad at myself for not having Cosmic, but like Cosmic is just not that good right now, unless it's just cope to a degree because I played against all decks that have been solid against, like the King Sark stuff. But the extra deck, time for the extra. Link 1's Moon Maiden, because you can link off your spellcasters, get you access to a dark, like your Squams, your extra Squams if you draw too many, Hedgehog, etc., etc. The Mathematician, get access to a light target. If I'm running Mathematician, I'm running her. That's just self-explanatory. If I'm running Math, I'm running her. Gravity Controller, it's mandatory, absolutely mandatory. It comes up. It never not comes up. SP Little Knight. This card breaks boards. It's what we like to do, so it just fits in our deck too good. Too good. For the Shaddolls, 2 Mommy. You no more, no less. 2 of my favorite one, the best one in the extra deck. Al Capone, aka App Cologne. 1 window, you don't need more than 1, you recycle it. You just don't. Because normally by the time you recycle this back again, You make Chaos Angel, and then you summon this back. And even if it's in defense position, they can't attack over because Chaos Angel 99% of the time is made with light and dark. So your cards can't be destroyed by battle. So you just switch it back to attack position on your next turn, and then you kill them, because then they have to deal with a Winda and a unaffected Chaos Angel. Now for the generics. Garua, Mud Dragon, and then the other super poly target, and this one's mainly only for Malice, and that is their own Desave Worm, or whatever. This card is mainly for Malice. The reason why I run this over the Guard Dragon that I've seen people running is because this is a 6, and it's more generic, and they can kind of play around the Guard Dragon. They can't really play around this. And since this is a 6 and it's a dark, you can make Chaos Angel with it. So it works with our deck. On top of that, in some weird fashion, if they go full combo, you can super poly this. Make sure you take their Malice monster, so their traps are dead, and then you can mind control their firewall or whatever, if they went full combo, and then his negate is live. So even if you don't make Chaos Angel with him, you'll control Link for Cyber's monster, so his spell of trap negate will be live. So if they try like imperming you or whatever, you can negate with the Desave Worm. So that's another reason why I added mind control back in, just to make the Desave Worm better against Malice. But it's also a good breaker in its own right, because it's mind control, for God's sake. It's not a once per turn, and you can just lane confuse or crap off. But yeah, that's just the kind of synergy that I was wanting to have when I was building this version. So this has a bunch of utility for us in the Malice matchup. Now moving on, one Grang. It's all you need to get your stuff going. One Chaos Angel. This card's a problem. Future ban card, potentially. This card's nasty. Everyone's running it now. And it's too easy for us to make in this deck because we have too many 6s and too many 4s. Too many darks, too many lights. And then Lulu. By the time you get both of these on the field together, it's just GG. It's just GG. Because this protects this buffs this, and it's just nasty. I say it every time. And then the last card in the deck, in the extra deck, is Aggregator. I'm not running Typhon because every single time I run Typhon, it always got negated or popped. So there's no point right now. Even though I feel unsafe without it. Aggregator is in there for the XZ decks, aka ryzeal, or anything else potentially that can be used on. But this was really freaking nasty. When I played against the ryzeal matchup and I went Ulti Slayer, he was not really expecting me to waste an extra deck slot for Aggregator, but I did, and it came in clutch because I turned off cash cards, which was nice because it allowed me to freaking play the game. So I just went Ulti Slayer, target the detonator, bounce, send this, turn off the cash card, and then proceeded to go mind control, steal the other one, and then I went mind control first because I knew I didn't want to play into the unicorn. So I went mind control, target, and he went he didn't do nothing. I took it, and then I went Ulti Slayer, target detonator, bounce, aggregator effect, turn off the Fenrir, and then I proceeded to break the rest of the board, and then link his cards off that I took or whatever, and then ended the game next turn. But that's it for the main extra inside. I hope you all enjoyed this list. Like I said, I went X1, and this list is mainly made for the highly represented decks. Obviously, you're not going to have all the utility that you would have playing against Rogue or something like that, or if the format was more wide open. That iteration could be from the Albaz version, in my opinion. But this one has the consistency, and it has the utility slots for ryzeal and Malice and stuff like that. So, if you want to decide to run this, then go ahead. If you're going to an event, this is the one that I think you should take, my personal opinion, because you're going to be playing a lot of ryzeal and you're going to be playing a decent amount of Malice probably. But Let me know in the comment section down below how you enjoyed it, how long you've been playing Shaddolls, how long you've been watching my videos on Shaddolls, or just my videos in general. We just recently passed 2,000 subs, and I love you guys so much for it. It's been a grind, but I'm glad that I have every single one of you. You're part of the D.D.D fam, and I love you so much for it. Definitely, if you made it to this far in the video, only real OGs make it to the 25-minute mark, because y'all know I like to talk and run my mouth, because I love you guys, and I just want to feed your all's heads with all of the information that I've gathered, so you have a higher platform, a foundation than I had, because that's all I want from you guys is success. In all ways. But with that being said, I love you guys so much. It's your boy Brennan, aka Drip from Team D.D. Sign out next time. Peace. Good dueling, my guys. Love you.